All right, so we will go ahead and get started here. So it's pretty straightforward how we do this. There's a couple options. One is there's a Q&A button right beneath me, the bottom of the screen, where you can submit any questions you have, and I'll just go through them in order and answer them as best as I can. The other option is if you have more of like something that's not necessarily just a straightforward question, more like would be a conversation, I can unmute your mic and we can have a conversation about whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I actually have some questions. David, you're asking, is there a way to set the default affiliate in MemberMouse? There's no way to set the default in terms of this affiliate should be applied to all orders. However, with that said, what you can do, let me share my screen here. On products, when you're editing a product, you see this partner payouts area under the commission section. You can specify an affiliate ID here. So say that the affiliate ID associated with 100, you have a particular arrangement with this person and that they should get a certain percentage of all sales of a particular product. So you can set that up here, and you can use a default, the system default commission profile, or you can create a whole new commission profile just to be used for this affiliate. So that's a way to set a default for affiliates. But the thing to keep in mind with this is that if this affiliate will get commissions on this product, regardless of if there's another affiliate associated with it, right? So if affiliate 120 actually refers the traffic to your site for a particular sale, then both affiliate 120 and 100 would get commissions on that particular product. So then you can go ahead and do partner payouts. You can go through and apply it to all or any of the products that you want to apply for that affiliate. Okay, Kevin, you're asking, what's the primary concern with using a cache plugin and MemberMouse? Should cache be disabled? Okay, so I'll just start answering this question by conceptually talking about what a cache is. So caching is a way to increase performance by storing the page, what's rendered on the page. So if we, for example, go to membermouse.com, if this page is cached, it means that instead of retrieving all the data for this page from the server itself, it's going to retrieve it from the cache. And the idea here is that it's faster to retrieve from the cache than it is to retrieve from the server. Going to the server in terms of time is a little bit more expensive. That's why caching is valuable. The reason that caching becomes an issue on any e-commerce platform, not just MemberMouse, is because the data caching only works and is valid for pages where the data is static and doesn't change. For example, our homepage. This is a static homepage. We do not output dynamic data on here for the most part. So we can actually cache this page and get the benefits of speed increase. However, when you have a checkout page, which is going to dynamically display different data on it based on what somebody's purchasing, or if you have a members area where the content is going to be dependent upon who's logged in, you definitely don't want to cache any of those pages, because what's going to happen is your first member, whoever logs in, is going to see, welcome, Eric. Thanks for joining our membership site. That page is going to be cached. And then when Sally logs in, she's going to see, welcome, Eric. Thanks for joining our membership site, because the page is cached. It's not going to the server to retrieve results. So basically, any page that can deliver dynamic content you do not want to cache it, because it's fundamentally going to break the whole purpose of that page being dynamic. Next question here. Do I need to set up PayPal to have subscriptions, or is it done automatically? It's done automatically based on the product definition that you send. So when you define your products in MemberMouse, if you define the product as a one-time purchase product, hold on, I'm just checking that. Hey, Amy, can you submit your question to the Q&A? I just see you put it in the chat, but the Q&A area helps me organize things and check things off once I've answered them. I'm just trying to get to my, okay, product settings. So basically, this product here, this one-time purchase product, it's $15, no recurring. This product is $10 every month. So once you define them in MemberMouse this way, when you make a purchase through PayPal, MemberMouse will send this product configuration over to PayPal, and then it will take care of everything from there, as long as you've configured the integration correctly. Then when somebody purchases this product, they'll be set up with a recurring subscription, and when they purchase this product, they'll just be billed $15 one time. All right, next question from Amy. Is there a way to add a contract with electronic signatures to the purchase process? If there's a way to do that, it's going to be through some third-party WordPress plugin that allows you to do electronic signatures. MemberMouse isn't going to provide that functionality, but what you can do is MemberMouse allows you, after you've purchased a particular product, to send somebody to a specific page based on what they've purchased. We call it product-specific confirmation pages. So you can use this for upsell processes. If you want to offer them a product that's relevant or related to the product they just purchased, or you can use it to after purchase processes like what you're talking about, gathering an electronic signature or having them fill out a survey or whatever. But essentially, as far as how you accomplish that, that's going to come down to, is there a WordPress plugin that allows you to do electronic signatures, or some electronic signature service like DocuSign or whatever that allows you to embed those forms on a page. So there's going to be probably a little bit of customization, but the way that MemberMouse will help you with this is it will enable you to, after the purchase of a particular product, send people to a specific page, and on that page you can outline whatever instructions you need to the customer regarding how to complete the process by signing something or whatever. Kevin, is there a way to integrate Discourse form with MemberMouse so a current member on the WordPress site has access to the Discourse form? There's definitely a way to do it, yeah. So do I know exactly how to do it? No, but in terms of what role MemberMouse has to play in it, I can show you. You're going to be using our push notification system. So if you go to developer tools, you will create a push notification, which can also be thought of as a webhook. It's commonly called conceptually. You can create one of these for when a member is added, or when a member purchases a particular bundle or product. And then based on that, you can call a custom script. And then in that script, you can do whatever you need to do to integrate with Discourse. There's also an integration with Zapier. I wonder if Zapier has an integration with Discourse, because if they do, that would make it a lot easier. So I guess Is this the Discourse forum? In any event, that's something to look into. Whether you're going to use push notification to Zapier and then use Zaps within Zapier to do whatever integration with Discourse, or if you're going to have a custom script that your developers write that gets called by a trigger in MemberMouse and then passes that script appropriate data and then does whatever it needs to do with the Discourse to give people access. That'll be for your research to determine, but it's going to start. MemberMouse will enable you to do this process by starting with a push notification. Okay. Amy's asking, can your employees in the support role add bundles to members? I believe so. So if we create, now this is a support agent. I'm pretty certain they can. I would, I would have to go and log in as this person to be absolutely certain, but you could also do that. But I'm pretty sure that support agents can do member account management. Cindy's saying employees with a support or sales role will be able to access the manage members menu, browse transactions and logs in MemberMouse. And because they can access manage members, they can do anything they need to do on the member level, add bundles, issue refunds, et cetera, et cetera. So the answer to your question is yes. All right. David is asking, and Gaynor, yes, I see your note, and I have that document. So once I get through all these questions, I will go over to that document. So David's asking, when setting using iDev affiliate per product commissions, it seems like you have to put the product prices in both MemberMouse and iDev. Does it mean that the commission structure in iDev affiliate is basically overriding what is defined in MemberMouse? Using iDev affiliate per product commissions. I'm gonna have to, I might not know the answer to this. Let me just take a brief look at the integration, see if it refreshes my memory. Yeah, this is probably not gonna work. Yeah, that's unfortunately, I don't know off the top of my head the answer to that question. So that's something you can submit to our support team. I think let me take a look at the support article, because I can't visualize in my head the iDev support, the iDev configuration screen. I haven't seen it at all. Oh, here we go. MemberMouse will pass product ID purchased iDev affiliate when reporting a commission, which gives you the opportunity to configure a specific commission the affiliate should receive by product. Under Yeah, it looks like it's overriding it. But I don't think that you have to set any, it doesn't look like you have to set anything up in iDev side. It looks like you're just configuring this, or maybe is this the iDev side? Anyway, sorry, I don't have a memory for this, but it seems like the documentation should guide you. And then if you have any additional follow-up questions on it, you can email our support team about it. But yeah, it does look like it would override what would happen for a commission if you didn't do any configuration on this. Amy is asking if we added content and it was a PDF file with external links for resources, will those links still work? If we added content and it was a PDF file with external links for resources, will those links still work? I'm not following the question. I think I'm missing some information there. Maybe you can reword it a little bit. Kevin's asking, my site is hosted at HostGator on a Cloud VPS. I've not activated MemberMouse yet, but will be opening it soon to approximately 2,600 Patreon members and have them transfer their membership to my site on MemberMouse. I have some concerns that my current hosting will not be robust enough. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, VPS is, or virtual private server, as you're probably aware. It basically means that that one server is shared between multiple clients of theirs. And so it's kind of, in terms of what resources will actually be allocated to your site, it really depends on who you're sharing that server with. So if the other people on that server aren't getting a lot of traffic, then, you know, it may be good for you. But if one or more of those people are getting a lot of traffic, then there's going to be competition for resources. And ultimately, you may find that the performance isn't that great. But as long as there's an upgrade path within HostGator to get to a dedicated server as opposed to a VPS, you could start on the VPS and then upgrade. But of course, that's a moving piece, right? And would it be better to just launch with a dedicated server in anticipation of needing those resources than have to do a move from a VPS to a dedicated server while your site is live? Probably. It'd certainly be less stressful. But of course, how you make that decision is going to depend on some factors like what is the price difference between VPS and dedicated, and does the membership revenue cover your costs, et cetera, et cetera. But I think you're right to be considering it, because basically if you do intend to be successful and you intend to have traffic coming to that site, and you're actually, and if you're actually doing advertising and sending traffic to that site, you know, dedicated is always going to be more reliable than VPS. So, okay, let me jump over to your questions, Gainer. Let's see here. How to turn off the featured image as it keeps appearing twice. I've now found a WP plugin, quick featured images, that I hope will resolve that once I set it up. I guess it's not strictly, yeah, this doesn't have to do with MemberMouse. So yeah, I don't know the answer to this question, but MemberMouse definitely doesn't have to do with it. Featured images is a WordPress thing, and if they're doubling up, it's either the theme or some other plugin that's causing that to happen. So that would be the place to look. The other question is, when non-members land on a page reserved for free members, can a redirect be set up to bring them automatically to my landing page for joining as a free member, rather than one just saying they can't access the content. Yeah, I think there's Cindy, I think that there's an article that shows how to do this. It's basically, it's probably the best thing to do would be to use the access decision smart tags, which allow you to, so as you're defining or specifying, is MemberMouse's default content protection strategy is to anybody trying to access a page that they don't have access to will just redirect them to the error page. But what you can do by using the smart tags is you can detect who's visiting. You basically bypass that default protection scheme and you say, I want to handle it myself. And so what you can do is use smart tags surrounding your protected content. So if somebody goes to the page, you can show them the protected content if they have access, but if they don't have access, within the other set of smart tags, you can show them an advertisement for what it would look like if they did get access, or you could send them to another page. But in essence, in order to do it, you're going to be using those smart tags. Let me just check this article. Yeah, so there's this article, but also yeah, so this article kind of does a higher level take on it. So you could check that out. But that's how you can accomplish that. Right. And as far as your last question regarding what's the best WP Cache plugin, again, I don't have experience with a lot of these third-party plugins. I can say, I'll just take a quick look at membermouse.com and see what we're using for caching, if anything, as a plugin. But if I don't have an answer, then I think we have a support article on it. Yeah, I don't think we're using a caching plugin. I think we used to use WP Total Cache. But now we have a more sophisticated way of doing caching. I think we do it server side. So, okay. David is asking, if I want to retrieve a custom field value from the referring affiliate that I need to use displaying to a referred member, is there an easy way to look up the referring affiliate for a given member? If I want to retrieve a custom field value for the referring affiliate that I need to use displaying to a referred member, there's definitely a way to do this in the context of an order. So like when somebody makes a purchase and then on the confirmation page, you can, in the order smart tags, you can detect the affiliate that was used on a particular order. But once you're out of the context of the order, there isn't a way, because affiliate ID is not an account level thing. It's related to the orders, right? Because if the customer's placed one or more orders, or say 2 or more orders, then there could be multiple different affiliates associated who are responsible for each of those sales. So where do you want to look? First, you can look at okay, so in this manual integration article, you can see here that on the confirmation page after the order is placed, we have this smart tag order data, name, affiliate ID. So this will actually output the affiliate ID associated with the order. So what you can do, okay, so obviously you'll have it at that time on the confirmation page. But if you need it, if you want to store it for some later point, then you're going to need to do something custom. And again, you can use the push notification system. So if you go to developer tools and create push notification and do by product purchased, any product, call a custom script, and you can download this product purchase notification script, which will give your developers a starting point. This script shows you all the data that's going to be passed to the script from MemberMouse when a purchase happens. And so you can see here, if I search for affiliate ID, you'll be able to access the affiliate and sub-affiliate IDs associated with the order from the script, at which point you can store them in a database table for easy lookup at a later point, or do whatever you want with them. But that's the best starting point I can give you in terms of at any point in time. You know, obviously, if you just want to access this data on the confirmation page, you don't need to do any custom development. You just follow this article and you use the smart tag and display it on the page. But if you want to store it for later use for something, this is how you would do it. Okay. Let me just get organized here. Hey, Nikki, no worries. You submitted a question by email. Let me take a look. Okay, so I have an idea for a membership site that is part life coaching and part slow/immersive travel. And it would be for people who want to create time freedom to travel this beautiful world of ours slowly and immersively. I want to find a way to keep the content coming and for it not to be a huge creative burden on me personally. What creative ways have you seen people tackle the constant content creation of a membership site? Do you have any ideas for me? Cindy, do you want to, are you in a space? I know, you know, you weren't planning on being on the mic. I don't know if there's noise going on where you are, but I think you'd be better to answer this question if you are available. Okay, I'll unmute you.
Hey. So I would have to do a little research in terms of the way that people have kind of creatively manage their content creation, besides just outsourcing it. Yeah. I know that we've definitely have spoken to different people who have given their perspective on it, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody.
Well, I would say, from what I've seen, at least strategically in terms of how you've organized how we approach it, I think one of the basic strategies is organization, having a calendar,
Sure,
and basically chunking it down.
sure.
To do it over time.
That's a definite must. If you, I mean, you really can kind of start from the big picture idea about it, which is what we do is we create a grid of different ideas, big topics that we want to talk about. And then we also have, so that's on one side of the grid. And then the other side of the grid is kind of your standard ways of approaching those different articles. So, it's a first person, it's a profile, it's a research article, and then we go through and schedule the pieces of content based on that.
Right.
And that kind of helps. It kind of helps us just plan out as much as possible the year, without feeling completely overwhelmed by all the content that we have to create, and also keeping it reasonable for ourselves and just deciding. I mean, I think the biggest thing is to really recognize what you can do, what's possible for you to do and what you have time, where you can set aside the time to do it, and not try to do too much all at once. Like not try to say like, oh, I'm gonna create 5, like a post a day or something like that, and it's just not something that you can do, because that automatically put you off creating content.
Right.
So I know some people set a challenge for themselves if they're trying to get over a hump of like a writer's block, or get comfortable with the process. I know Miles Beckler has talked about that to you a couple times on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll paste a podcast episode in there.
Where he has said, I don't know, I think he gave himself a 90-day challenge to do a video a day or something like that, because he was just like, he just felt so uncomfortable with it. And I think that that's certainly a great approach at first. If you're having a problem, or you want to become better more quickly at a certain area, writing, being on camera, that sort of thing. That is not sustainable. I mean, it may be sustainable for somebody, but for myself personally, I wouldn't say that that's sustainable. So it's really figuring out for yourself what is sustainable for you and keeping it consistent. I think that's really important, is consistency in whatever aspect you do decide to do. So that's kind of how we approach it, and then just allow ourselves the flexibility to assess it and change.
Yep.
Based on what we've observed.
Yep. I agree with all those points. And yeah, so I pasted in the chat the podcast episode I recently did with Miles Beckler the end of last year. So that would be a good one to listen to. I think the other podcast that'd be good to listen to is we interviewed who is it, Clayton Osborne, about he's a YouTube guy with over 100,000 followers, and we talked about content creation too. Of course, he's doing video content creation, but still conceptually, I think that conversation would answer questions regarding this from a general standpoint.
Yeah. Oh, and I think another thing that Neely Quinn talked about, and this is, obviously a little bit further in, but you know, she had said, okay, well, I have all these podcast episodes. She was doing podcasts and she needed content for her blog. And so she wrote out the podcast episodes, you know, as a blog post. So then, you know, and so that's another thing, is repurposing content in different formats can definitely help too. You know, we do that ourselves. We don't just write out the podcast, but we do go through and pick out kind of golden nuggets from podcasts that have been really popular and create a blog post around them to get different people to be able to enjoy the content. Because not everybody wants to listen, not everybody wants to read, not everybody wants to watch. So yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, obviously outsourcing is another option.
Yeah, but I think it's always good to, before outsourcing is a secondary step. You have to get the experience of what it actually takes, because if you don't know how to create the content yourself, what the intricacies of are the process from your own perspective, you're not going to be able to manage anybody effectively who's doing it for you. And really, you're end up going to be at the I forget, I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to wind up being kind of at the mercy of whomever
mercy.
you,
Yep.
Yeah. Whoever you,
if they're good or if they're not.
Yeah.
Like
it does, and it is hard, but once you do find somebody who can write or create that content with you or for you, and that you do like working with, and you know, hold on to them, because it's not it's definitely and you know, just like hiring anybody, it's hard to find.
Nikki's adding a follow-up question, a follow-up point here about wanting to collaborate with people who already offer a course that could help people in their own time, allowing them to create content. So again, I think based on what you're saying here, definitely check out the Neely Quinn podcast episode, because she does this.
She does.
She talks about how she leveraged her community in the specific area that she runs her business in, and how she organized that, and talk specifically about content creation. So I definitely think listening to either both episodes, but I think in the first episode we did with her, we talked most about that stuff. So
yeah, I'm gonna or you can mute me and I'll just look up that podcast episode and post it in the chat.
Cool, thanks. All right, the last two questions here from this one's from Sarah Woods and Rick. Is there a way to have a subscription set up so the customer can choose how much they want to pay, as in fill out the amount for themselves, not pick from a few options? I know I could do this through PayPal, but I'd like to explore if there's a way to do it through using MemberMouse and Stripe. If you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them. I have someone I can work with to implement, so I'm not limited to just my knowledge of websites or the plugin. No, there's not currently a way you can kind of name your own price setup with MemberMouse. And I don't even think it would be possible or advisable right now to try and implement something to do that. I think your best option right now would be to, you know, although it's somewhat limited, to do kind of like some sort of thing on the checkout page where they can select from a drop down, or have some radio buttons that identify, you know, what price they want to pay. Yeah, so unfortunately that's the best you can do right now. And this last question from Michael. I accidentally canceled a recurring subscription by comping an upgrade from RPQ Foundation to RPQ Unlimited. I did not know that this would actually cancel the Foundation subscription. Now the question is, how can I upgrade a client but have him or her continue paying for the basic subscription? Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a test purchase here. So let's say that this paid membership A is your first membership, and the paid membership B is the one you want to upgrade them to. So if I start off on paid membership A by making this purchase, so now if you do this from the customer side, it's just automatically going to take care of itself. Like if they make the purchase after having purchased this first membership level, if they purchase the second one, MemberMouse will automatically cancel the first subscription and start the second subscription, assuming they're both membership levels. But I think you're talking about how do you do this from the back end. So this on the manage member screen is that new account that just came through. So if I click edit and go to access rights, now this is all assuming you're working with a card on file solution like Stripe, Braintree, Authorized Net, CIM. So from the membership section, you select which membership you want to change them to. In this case, membership B, change membership. And then you're going to specify, you clicked comp, which is anything that I do going this point forward, whether I comp or whether I select paid product, is going to cancel the previous membership because you can only have one membership active at a time in MemberMouse. You can have unlimited bundles applied to the account, each of which can have subscriptions. So it is possible to have multiple subscriptions. But the thing about membership levels and the benefit of using them is that it's restricted only on one per account. And this allows for things like automated proration to happen and automatic canceling of the previous membership, which is standard what you would want to have in a business model where you have like a bronze, silver, gold program, right? Because if you're on bronze and you buy gold, you don't want to have bronze continue to bill. You want to cancel billing on bronze, apply a proration for what's not been used, and then purchase gold. So that's the benefit of using the membership levels. So when I'm changing my membership level, regardless of if I comp the second membership level or I pay for it, the first membership subscription is going to be canceled. So now the question is, okay, how do I get them to be paying for the second membership? Well, I just select which product I want them to purchase, and then I just build a card on file. So now they will be on the paid membership B, and they will have an active subscription for that product. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question exactly. There seems like there might be some nuance in what you're trying to do. Like you want them to be on the paid membership B or the second membership, but you still want them to be recurring on the first subscription. If that's the case, then you might need to reorganize or restructure how your like the second thing you're trying to get them to sign up for probably shouldn't be a membership level if that's the case. If you want the original subscription to continue and you want to add access to something else for free, you should be applying a bundle to their account and not switching their membership level. But if you have more specific questions about that based on your situation, you can email our support team about it. And if he wants the price to be the same as the first subscription, then he would have to create a new product. Right. So if you want them to be on the second membership level, but you want it to be the same price, you would create another product with the same pricing, but associated with the second membership level. Cool. All right, well, I think that we got through all the questions. So appreciate everyone for joining and asking all the good questions. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. All right, thanks, bye.